Hello guys, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Sarah and I'm a flower farmer in East Yorkshire in the UK, and I am also dabbling in a little bit of veg growing this year. I've actually sacrificed one of my flower field or my flower growing areas to veg this year because I want a really nice big veg patch to supply me and my family, and I'm really focused on soil health here on the farm as well, and I'm hoping that having really great soil health is going to equal good nutritional food that's going to be really great for me and the family. So I'm really looking forward to trying out lots of new things this year. It is going to be a challenge, I think, because I'm so used to growing flowers, and veg is kind of similar. We're still growing stuff, but it is very different as well. So I just wanted to show you what's been going on in the veg world in the last few weeks, because I haven't really given an update much on the veg growing side of things. And I'm here in the greenhouse and I just wanted to show you what's been sowed and what's germinated, what's looking good, and then we'll go out to the field just to show you again what the plans are for the veg patch and show you some things that I've been up to in the field as well. So this greenhouse is filling up quite nicely with lots of veg. It's quite a miserable day today, so I'm looking forward to hiding away in here and just getting some pottering on done today. This is a tray that I've just sown of some melons, some various melons and some cosmos that are going to go in the veg patch. What I really want to do is have lots of flowers interwoven between the vegetables, because I think that's going to look really nice in the veg patch. I'm actually going to put these in my germination chamber, and if you don't know about the germination chamber, then check up the video. I'll put it in the banner up here and you can click on that and watch how it works. It's been really great. I'm really loving the germination chamber for just making things a little bit easier this season. And then following on the flowery theme, I've got some nasturtiums here that are just starting to germinate in soil blocks. I'm actually really liking putting stuff in these larger soil blocks and then having these cafeteria style trays in with the soil blocks in them, and obviously we're just pouring water into the bottom, and we're not using too much plastic in that case, and I can just pick these up and plant them straight into the garden, which is going to be great. So I'll put a link to these cafeteria trays. They're from Amazon, they're really good, and then here's like a recycled one that I just got from the kitchen. And then we've got some pink chard in that one there, and that's starting to come up nicely. And then here and here we have an interesting experiment that I'm going to be doing this season, which is living pathways, and this is white clover in both of these trays, and then this is chamomile. So I'm really looking forward to seeing how that goes this year, and maybe having some living pathways of clover and chamomile and comparing the two and see what works best. In my veg growing field, I am going to be getting rid of all of the weed membrane, so the living pathways are going to be necessary, and if I can do it with something that's going to perhaps fix nitrogen or look nice as the chamomile will, then and then hopefully that will work. And then here I have a couple of things that came out of the germination chamber that actually need to go into my flower growing greenhouses around the back. And I've got 2 trays of poppies there. So I've got mixed poppy and the giant poppy there, which I really love to grow. And then here we have some more flowers, some colibri poppies and some snapdragons. I'm hoping those colibri poppies will start to grow on a bit quicker so that we can get them planted out whilst the weather's still cool. And then if you watched my previous video, you'll know that I had issues with mice, and I've had to resow lots of things peas and beans wise. So I've got some broad beans here and here, and there's some peas a little bit further up there which we'll get to. And then here we've got some things that came out of the germination chamber yesterday, I think, or even this morning. I can't remember, the days are just blaring into one at the moment. We've got some leeks and some salad onions, and then just behind them there we've got some lettuces, and I've actually just planted some lettuces out in the field, so it'll be interesting to see whether they survive out in the field versus the slugs and the birds and things like that might predate upon them. So I left a couple of lettuces in the greenhouse just in case all of the ones outside died, and I would at least have some kind of insurance policy here in the greenhouse. And then I have a tray of dill. This was actually a really full tray up until a couple of days ago, and I think there's been a slug or a snail attacking it here, so I've got lots of stumps of dill there, which is a shame, because I don't particularly grow this as a cut flower anymore because I find it quite annoying. I don't actually use much of it, so I thought it would be really nice as a structural element in the garden, in the veg growing garden, and also it's going to be good for pickling gherkins and things like that. And then we've got some more snapdragons at the back here, and then we've got a mixture of yellow and red onions at the back. These are the surviving pea plants that didn't get eaten by the mice. And then these are the resown peas. There's a mixture of Monge 2 over there at the back, some Hurst green shaft. I don't actually know which variety these are. They could be Hurst green shaft as well. And there is some sweet peas as well, which I'm going to put into the mix, which should be nice to look at. Here I have some cabbage, some leeks. That pot actually fell over, so there's nothing growing in there, but I can see leeks germinating in the rest of them. And then I have some comfrey in this one that hasn't germinated yet, and then some more chamomile in those 3 pots there. And then a variety of different colours of beetroot. We've got this golden Detroit beetroot, which is a yellow colour, and this beetroot sanguina, which I believe is from Real Seeds. A lot of my veg is heritage heirloom varieties, organic seeds from Real Seeds. And then I said some more beetroot there. I'm not quite sure why, because that seems like a lot of beetroot already there. And then I've got some spinach here, some artichokes. I did have a little dig around in here this morning just to see if they were germinating, and I did see a little bit of a leaf, so I just need to be a bit more patient with those and wait for them to germinate. Then the peas and some more radishes here, and I did actually direct sow some radishes out in the field yesterday, so we'll have a look at those in a bit. And these are some surviving sweet peas from the mouse attack as well. Then over on this side, there's a few things that are actually supposed to be around the back, such as that craspedia, and then there's some snapdragons there which really need to be in the other greenhouses with all of the cut flowers. And then I've got some things that are sowed flower wise for the veg patch, such as these sunflowers, marigolds, they've been sown today, more marigolds there, some more sunflowers, and some tomatoes that I've just sown today. And it's unfortunate because I did actually have some really good tomatoes that I grew in January, and I went away and Rob just wasn't aware of the fact that they could get damaged by frost, so unfortunately got killed by the frost whilst I was away. So I'm resowing them now in late March, and I'm hoping that it's not too late. And then some more sunflowers there. So I'll just go and take these and put them in the germination chamber and hope that they will germinate in the next few days in the nice warm chamber. So there's a few things here in the chamber already, but I'm just going to add these to this shelf here. And what have we got? Zinnias for the cut flowers, some larkspur there. I don't think that's going to germinate in here, but we'll see. I'll just leave it for a bit longer. Some shallots. And some mint. I'm not sure whether that's going to germinate in here either, but we'll see. And then some helichrysum and some celosia. So I'll get this closed back up and we'll go and have a look out in the field. This is peach blossom. I'm looking forward to hopefully eating some fruit off our own fruit trees this year. I planted a couple of apples last year. I've got peaches and pears as well, and plums. So let's hope we get at least some fruit from our trees this season. Yesterday it was an absolutely gorgeous day. I was working out here in a t-shirt, the sun was shining and the vibes were good in the garden. And on days like that I just get loads and loads of work done because I get so motivated, and it must be the kind of endorphins that you get from being out in the sunshine. But today it's freezing cold, spitting with rain, and I don't want to be outside, but I have been out in the greenhouse doing some odds and sods, so that's been kind of getting me through the day. But yeah, it'd be really nice to have some nice spring weather again. I think this time last year it was a lot warmer than this, and really looking forward to kind of the good feeling of the warm weather coming back to us again. So as I mentioned in previous videos, this field was my original flower field where I started off my flower farm, and it is being converted now into my veg growing patch. So it was originally kind of, I just grew everything here, perennials, annuals, and it has evolved using various growing techniques over the years, but I am now doing no dig. I had converted it into a perennial growing field, and now it is going to become the veg patch. So I've still got lots of perennials in here, and the plan for this year is to integrate the veg and the perennials, and then next year when the perennials are dormant, I'm going to move them into the new flower field, because the new flower field needs lots of prep work doing to it this year. I want to grow cover crops and things on it over the summer so that it is so we are sort of prioritising soil health before we do anything to the field. So I've been trying to slowly take up the weed membrane in this field because I'm not so keen on using that anymore, especially now that it's going to be a veg patch. It's not so practical. So I've started already with this rhubarb bed, and then there's a couple of dahlia beds in between, and then we've got a bed of lettuce and garlic there, so I'll just take you over to show you that. So this bed here was planted up with garlic a few weeks ago, and then in the centre here I have planted asparagus plants, and since I planted them I haven't seen any sign of any asparagus spears showing under the surface, but hopefully they will come eventually. And then I've got a short row of broad beans here, which are the ones that survived the mice in the greenhouse, and then either side of that I've got a row of lettuces that I planted out, and I'm hoping that they're going to grow up nicely so that we can have some nice salads and things in the next few weeks or a couple of months. I'm not really sure, to be honest. And under here yesterday I sowed 3 different varieties of carrots and some radishes as well, and also you might be able to just see under the horticultural fleece there I planted out some radishes that I'd sown from seed a few weeks ago that were looking ready to go out. So I've just pinned it down with this horticultural fleece, hoping that it will help with germination of the carrot seeds and also help with carrot root fly once they have germinated and start to grow. So as I've said, I've got a couple of things that I need to keep in this field for this season, such as these grasses. There's grasses here and there's grasses there, and there isn't a lot in between, so I need to fill that in with something. I might put some flowers in there just for the time being. And this bed is mostly useless because it's got things in that I don't really want anymore, so I just need to decide whether I'm going to dig that up or just give it another season, another chance for another season, just to 100% decide that I don't want it anymore. That is Lycaenis coronaria, Dusty Miller. I think it's the white variety, but I found that it opened and became unusable very, very quickly, so I wasn't able to actually pick it and use it at the right time before it was too late. And then here is a bed that is cleared up. I've just put some weed membrane over the top to kill off the remaining plants that were still alive in that bed, so hopefully in the next couple of weeks that'll be ready to come off and it'll be ready to plant into. And then that's a bed of dahlias that needs the weed membrane taken off, and then this is some English mace up at the bottom there that I really want to keep, and then there is some, I can't remember the name of it there, I'll put it up on the screen when I remember. There's some of that there which I didn't particularly like last year, but I'm going to give it another chance since it was only in its first year last year. Hopefully now that the plants will be a bit bigger this season, they might be a bit more productive, we'll see. And then obviously we've got some artichokes down here at the bottom end, and yesterday I cleared out quite a lot of artichokes from these beds over here, and you can see some artichokes that I pulled up there, so I need to maybe plant those into this bed so that all the artichokes are together. And then the rest of this field hasn't got anything veg-wise in it yet, but I need to kind of start working my way through it. I'm not sure whether many of these dahlias survived over winter, so I had a little dig through the other day and I didn't really see many tubers that looked like they were still viable for this year, so that's kind of a bit of a shame, bit of a bummer. I think I need to start being a little bit more prepared in the winter time when it comes to protecting the tubers from cold and wet conditions. So yeah, there's not much more to report up here in this end of the field, so I won't bore you with showing you that again, but it will be exciting to show you as the season progresses how things are looking. I hope you enjoyed that quick little veg update, guys. I hope you're all getting on well with your veg patches if you have one, and let me know what you've been up to, what you're looking forward to growing this year in terms of veg. It's really interesting because it is so similar to flower growing, like I said, but also worlds apart as well. So I've been nerding up on lots of videos and things in the last few weeks just to try and get an idea of what to do, but of course experience is the best way to learn. So I'm looking forward to the season ahead, growing lots of veg and lots of my favourite veg as well. I'm really excited about the melons and sweet corn and tomatoes, because we all know they taste so much better when they're homegrown. So thank you so much for watching, guys, and I'll see you on the next one.